Production support for Hot and Cold is brought to you by American Solar Technics, manufacturers of components for wood burning and solar heating systems. Hey, I'm Tom Gosey. This week, we started making kitchen cabinets with two tools. Can you imagine what we could do with these tools? Why, we can make cabinets. I said that, didn't I? But it's going to be fun. Don't go nowhere. This is a good one. I always forewarn you when the good shows are coming. They may be few and far between, but this is definitely one of them. Well, we're here in the kitchen of the project house, and can you notice anything different? There's boxes on the walls. These are our Mills Pride cabinets. I couldn't wait for you. I got so excited, but you're not going to miss a thing. I wanted to get some of it ahead of time just to give you an idea of what's going to happen here today. And what's going to happen is we're going to assemble some wall cabinets. We're going to mount them on the wall. We're going to show you all the procedures. It is really extremely simple. And this whole idea of having knockdown cabinets that don't cost a lot of money, you're going to see why, the whys and wherefores, what makes it all work. And if you stop for a minute, let's stop and think about kitchen cabinets. Kitchen cabinets are big boxes with doors in front of them, either a base cabinet like this or a wall cabinet. And what we're going to do today with the wall cabinets is make the boxes. We're going to mount the boxes on the wall, and then we're going to tie the boxes together. We're not going to put any doors on yet because that's a whole other TV show. Come on over here. We have, I have cleared the floor because I had so many cabinets here. I just wanted to get started. I really don't need many tools. This is what I use. I got a hammer, Phillips head screwdriver, a tape measure, and of course I got a cabinet. And this is a 24-inch by 44-inch wall cabinet. Now, I have looked at the directions, but I looked at the pictures. I didn't even read the directions. There isn't really much to these, and I think we might we'll do one or two. I'm not sure. We'll see how the time goes, but there's not much to do. We open the box of parts, and right off the bat, I'm just going to take pieces out of the box, and you're going to see how quick this goes. We have these cams that are for locking posts, and we're going to pop these in. 1, 2. It's going to take me more time, I think, to get the parts out of the bag than it is to put the cabinet together, because now I'm going to get nervous because the cameraman is right on top of me. Okay, this is a top or a bottom. The top and bottom are the same. I'm going to put that over here. That's one. Oh, here's another one. Same deal. I'm going to pop those 4 little cams in again. Now there's a hole there where the open part. See, there's a hole here and a piece that goes, a hole that goes through. We want that open part there because that's going to accept a post, which you'll see in a minute. It's all going to become so clear. I got to get the other 2. And I'm not rushing. I'm doing this probably a little bit slower than I normally would because you're here. We're going to put these off to the side for a minute. We don't need those yet. We're going to take these out. These are shelves for the cabinet. We won't need those till we're all done. Now we get to the nitty-gritty. We have the 2 sides. Now the sides have tons of holes. Very easy. The middle hole on the top and the bottom, we put 2 dowels in, just like that. Sometimes I use the hammer to tap them in. We've got little holes in the back here. We have little dowels that go here. Okay? And I'm doing these, usually I tap with the hammer, but I'm finding I am so strong today because the adrenaline's flowing because we're doing a TV show. We do those. Okay, that one's there. Now, they've changed it a little bit. These are new kinds of, I call them expando posts. We put these in here. Those I'll tap in with the hammer. One. Has to be in all the way so it lays flush. The hole is pre-drilled. All these holes are pre-made and are the right depth. That one I pushed in because the adrenaline is better at that end of the cabinet, I guess. Okay. And 4. Right there. That side is done. I'm just going to set that over here on the floor for a moment. We're going to do the other side the same way. Again, and you'll see what all this means in a minute here. You can look this up in the manual. After I did the first cabinet, this becomes really rote memory stuff where you don't have to know anything, because every cabinet, whether it's tall and thin like this one or it's short and fat, goes together the same way. There's 2 pieces, one piece for the top, one piece for the bottom. There's 2 sides. And of course there's shelves. On many of the cabinets have shelves, but the shelves, we're not even going to think about shelves this week. I'm putting these posts in and put that in place there. Now, see how that fetched a little? We just have to make sure that's flush tapped in. All right. Now, would you believe we're ready to put the cabinet together? How could that be, Tom, you say? Well, it's that simple. There's a front and back to the cabinet. It's pretty easy to tell the front from the back. See this edge here with the exposed particle board, the wood? That's the back, whereas the front has the melamine finish. That's the front. Okay, so we're going to take these ones with the cams with the Phillips head tops here always go to the outside of the cabinet. Watch this now. I've got the 2 posts and the dowel. That sits on there. Okay, we'll call that the top. Going to do the same thing down here for the bottom. Okay, man, are you picking up the vibrations? It's going so fast. These are hanger strips. These are not going to be seen. See the little holes here? Those are nail holes. You'll see why in a minute. And these little dowel holes there, where do you think those little dowel holes might go? Right there. Like that. We're putting the nail holes so they're opposite this piece here. See that? We're going to do the same thing here. You can only put it in one way so everything lines up evenly. Push that down. Now, okay, the complex part comes now. I have to take my Phillips head screwdriver and turn this cam about a half turn, and that locks this little post here. You look over here. See the post? I'm ahead of the cameraman. Lock the little post onto the cam. So I do that on the bottom. I'm going to do the same thing on the top here. Twisting it, about a half turn. Okay. And we take this one, we do the same deal. Tell me this is not slick. Now I have no helpers here. I'm doing this by myself, and I'm not the brightest bulb on the string, okay? But once you do one, I don't know how many I've done, but I did the first one. Okay. And we just do the same deal again where we lock these in. See? Here. And here. And here. And here. Now, I put down the screwdriver. And I've got a box. But there's something missing from the box. We got to take a break. That was only about 5 minutes. We are almost absolutely positively done. The most technical part of the project is coming up. Don't go away. We'll be right back. So we're back, and we have to do the technical part now. Everything up to this point was easy. We've got to put the back in. Okay, the back is in the box, and there's a white side and there's a dark side. We want to put it so the white side is facing the inside of the cabinet. It means the dark side would be on the back. You ready for this? It drops in like this. And we just have to wiggle it down into the slot on the bottom. and it's done. Okay, so now the back is in, but we have to make sure the cabinet is square because the cabinet is just 4 sides and it's a little floppy. So we're going to lay this in the box again, like so, and we're going to measure diagonally. And the way we do this is we measure across corner to corner. I just hook the tape measure right in the middle of the point there, and I swing it around over to here, and at that point it's 48 3/8. I'm going to go do the same thing on this corner, and it is 48 3/8. I don't have to do anything else. Those diagonal measurements, if that box is square, would be the same both ways. It is. So I just want to double check, make sure my back hasn't moved. It had, so I just moved it back. And it comes with nails. We put a nail in here, and we go. We put one there. We've just locked that in. We do the same thing on this side. One nail here. And now we can just nail the rest off. There's, in this cabinet, there are 4 nails. This is the most construction-like part of the whole project. Putting in the nails. And let's see, one here. 2 more nails, and you know what? That box is done. Did you time me? You didn't. Wait a minute. You were supposed to. That is a 24-inch wide by 42-inch high cabinet box. Now, if my memory serves me right, if I check my picture, I have a map of the kitchen. I just dropped my microphone too. I'm so excited. So what we need to do now is figure where it goes. So we've left completely the assembly process. We now go into the cabinet hanging process. The wall cabinets go up first because if you had the base cabinets here, you have to lean over to get to the wall. It's very cumbersome. I kind of like to stand on cabinets, but it doesn't make it any easier if you have a cabinet to stand on. You want to be able to get up close and personal, and you'll see why in a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this box, which is the cabinet, over here. I'm going to move the cardboard out of the way because I no longer need that. We'll toss that in the other room because it is now garbage. I bring in my little step stool. Going to need the step stool in it. Ideally, this is a 2-person operation. But it's hot and cold, and I'm the only star of the show, so I've been doing this all by myself all day. And it goes very quickly. It is an easy do-it-yourself project by yourself. It'll be easier with 2 people or even 3 people. What we need to do, we can measure this a couple different ways. Cabinets have to be a certain height. Where did I put my level? I have a oh, here it is. The height, in this case, we have a 42-inch wide cabinet, a high cabinet. Usually they're 30 inches, but we're going 42, so we get more storage space. With a 42-inch, well, with any cabinet, basically, we would be 53 inches, 53 or 54 inches off the floor to the bottom of the cabinet. So we've got a line here, a level line I drew, and that's what we're working off of. Also, we could do this. We could go up to the ceiling, and we can mark it. I think it's about 96 inches to the top of these cabinets. And if I level that up and I draw the line across there, the top of the cabinet goes to that line. So I can do it either way. We're going to put this somewhere. We're going to need it in a minute. I'm going to put it right there. These strips on the back of the cabinet have a very important function. This is something solid for us to anchor the cabinet to the wall with. So what we're going to do in a moment is drill holes through this and screw into the studs. Now you recall when I did this kitchen, I didn't paint this area because this is going to be, the backsplash area will be probably tiled. So the beauty of that is I didn't have to mud these screw heads, and I know exactly where the studs are. Good thing. So here we have studs. I've marked up here a line with a circle around it, just so I know that it just wasn't me scribbling on the walls, which I sometimes do. So I know that's where studs are. So what we do next is we have more tools. We do need a couple more tools. We've got a drill with a driver on it. We've got a drill with a drill bit on it. We've got long screws. We've got short screws. And I am going to need, I've been using a manual screwdriver. How primitive. Okay, and there's a couple different ways to do this. This is the way I do it. It isn't right. It isn't the way the instructions tell you, but when you get your Mills Pride cabinets, you get two things. You get instructions that come with the cabinet that go through all the stuff I just showed you. It shows you in very nice pictures. So if you aren't paying attention, you can just go through the manual. It's really simple, and it's in 3 languages too. At the store, you want to pick up the Mills Pride Cabinet Installation Guide, which gives you a couple ways to be dealing with putting cabinets up. Okay, I hoist the cabinet up by myself because I'm here by myself. It doesn't weigh that much, and I bring it over in the vicinity where I want it to be. I've got a little T, this is called a dead man, and the dead man is going to be here to help me. And what I'm going to do, actually, to tell you the truth, I haven't used the dead man all day. That's why. This is what I've been doing by myself, is getting the cabinet kind of in position. The dead man's a little short, isn't it? Well, I'm going to show you the way I did it. I have these spring-loaded clips here. I've been clipping the cabinet in place like so, pushing it back against the wall, and then bringing it into the right area so it's up against my line. It's level with the cabinet alongside it. And then I take my drill, that's an 1/8 inch drill bit. I see where the hole is, come down about 1 inch from the edge. I drill a hole through that back piece. I pop a screw in. You can actually, if you're a good measurer, you can measure and pre-drill the hole and actually have the screw started. And you just put the screw in loose. The cabinet's now secure. It's time for a break already? Man, I'm not done with the cabinet. I wanted to get a cabinet mounted before the break. All right, well, I'll tell you what, let's take a quick break and we'll get the rest of this cabinet mounted. This show is going way too fast, but you know what? This job is going really fast too. We almost have a cabinet stuck on the wall here. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. All right, one of the things we need to be looking for it when we just have this roughed in with that one screw. We want to make sure we're level in all directions, and we have to do something here. You see how this is back? These two fronts do not line up. So to take care, I'm going to put that back over there. To take care of that, we have to shim it, and I've got a shingle. I'm going to sneak this shingle in the back here, if I can. I have to loosen that screw up a little bit. Okay, let's see if we can get the shingle in there now. So we want to be right there. Okay, that works. So now we'll put a screw in here. Now that shingle is all cockeyed. I don't even care about it because we're going to put a soffit up here. You're never going to see it. All right. Now, take those off. We're so close. Now, we need to tie the fronts together because they're sort of in the same plane, but they're not locked together. And what we do is, you can see over here what I've done. We've got a screw. These two holes here are where the door hinges go. So I'm going to come around to this side, and I'm going to drill a hole. I could do it from this side, but it would be visible. When I put the hinges in for the doors, those screws are going to be hidden. So the whole idea here is to hide as many of our fasteners as possible. So I just drill a little bit of a pilot hole. I take 1.25 inch screw. By the way, these screws that are holding up the cabinet are at least 2.5 inches long. I'm actually using 3.5 inch screws because I'm not, I've got a lot of meat in the back there I can go into. But I'm using 1.25 inch drywall screw. And I pre-drilled through the first piece, and I'm doing this by hand. You can see there that pushes apart a little bit. I just want to make sure it all stays in the same plane. Now, the cabinet is hanging loose. I don't have these, none of the screws in the back here are tight up against the wall yet. See, now I just pulled that right together. I've got to do the same thing up here. And we'll be ready to go. I just want to pull that a little bit loose. There we go. And I'm going to get my screw. And when I'm working with particle board, I always like to do this by hand. It goes right in. I've done it with cordless drills with the clutch adjusted. But that's basically it. Now, only other thing I've got to do is see where that hole is up there. I need to put one down here. And this one here I'll measure because it's in the middle. I think I have a tape measure in my pocket. I do. And that's 6 1/8. So we're going to go 6 1/8 here. Right there we should hit a stud. So I'll come up about 1 inch. All right. And again, we just put 2 screws in here. And you can always feel it when you're getting into solid wood behind there. You can hear it too. And that is some solid Dowling right there. So we got to put another cabinet here. There's going to be a stove here, so it'll be a shorter cabinet. And we've got another one here. This is a 30 inch, which we have to go through the same procedure over here. All the cabinets are done. All the wall cabinets are done. Now, we're just going to leave them like this. Not going to put any doors up until I'm absolutely finished. I'm going to do the base cabinet. Well, first I'm going to probably work on soffits unless I get really excited, and then I'll do the base cabinets first. But I do need to build a soffit up here. I've got about 7 1/4 inches from here to here. Not enough room to store anything, and rather than try to finish this off, it'd be much easier to build this out a little bit, put a molding up here, tie it to the ceiling, make it look real attractive. And that'll be done. So I'm not going to put the fronts on because I might be doing some stuff here. So rather than mess around or mess up a door in the process of doing some nailing and screwing or whatever, I'll wait. Patience is a virtue, Tom. Keep telling yourself that. But that's all we have to do. That's very solid. We have to make sure we know where the studs are. If we don't know where they are, we can take a stud finder like this, run it along the wall. It's going to show us when we hit a stud. There eventually will be a stud here. There we go. There's one. There's one back over here too, I'm sure. There it is right there. And if we look from here, right up there, look where the screw is. Found the stud. That's what stud finders do, is they find studs in walls. Anyway, next week, I think we need to do the same thing again for the base cabinets. Now, what we've done to make all this work real easy, we had to have shingles for shimming. We always start from the corner, put the corner cabinet in first, and then we work out in either direction. And that's what I've done here. Now, you can see, maybe you can get a sense of what the layout is. This will be where the sink goes, right here. And so what we'll do is we'll put the base cabinets in, working out from the corners again, going this way and this way. Pretty much the same routine, but we'll put together a cabinet for you. And again, base cabinets are a little bit more complicated, but not very much more. We have drawers in some of them, which we'll assemble. But after you do one, it's a very simple thing to do. And I was just so excited. Once I did the first cabinet, it was every 5 minutes I was banging out another cabinet. I spent more time opening the box than I did actually making the cabinet. And you saw it. We did it. It's done. So we'll do the last cabinet, get that up here, get that one mounted there, and we'll be ready for base cabinets next week. Very simple process. The beauty of this, and I have to tell you, when I was younger and I had a lot of little kids, there was a period of time where I had no kitchen. We decided to redo the kitchen, but then we realized the kitchen was so bad we just wanted it out. We couldn't afford to put in new cabinets. Excuse me, till you had to place an order and get all your cabinets at once. This gives you the luxury of going to the store. Any Home Depot has these in stock. You can even just buy the boxes, put the shelves in and have no doors, and buy the doors later on. You can buy one cabinet at a time, one a week, however your budget works for you. So it's a real great way to save money. Plus, they're very affordable anyway, much less expensive than anything that's assembled. Just stop and think for a moment that we've got a cabinet in this skinny box here. This is a 24 by 30 inch cabinet. In that little box, you can throw it in the trunk of your car. If a cabinet comes like this, assembled, how do you get that home? The guy has to come in a big delivery truck, or you have to have a pickup truck or a van, and you ain't getting your whole kitchen in the house. I got this whole kitchen here. This is a big kitchen with tall cabinets in the back of a pickup, level with the bed, the top of the bed. So there wasn't a lot of stuff here, or it wasn't a lot of volume because we weren't shipping the air. We brought the air, we provided our own air. So it's very nice. They're made in America. There's a lifetime warranty. They assemble very easily. There's a lot of help if you need help with them. There's a phone number. There's local people who can help you if you have any problems with them. And it doesn't get any easier than that. A lot of different fronts. You see those at the store though. We got to go. We're out of time. I'm sorry. I thought we were going to get that much more done, but you saw how fast they go. There was no editing involved. There were no video magic things happening. We'll see you next week. We're going to do base cabinets next week, and the kitchen is going to be done before we know it. Isn't this fun? I think it is. You could do it too, because I shouldn't be the only one to have this kind of fun. You should have it too. Production support for Hot and Cold is brought to you by American Solar Technics, manufacturers of components for wood burning and solar heating systems.